evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Plans Advisory Committee A of Tuesday the 26th of March. I must note that recording, filming and broadcasting is taking place, and planning function is noted on the front of the agenda. And I hear voices on the stairs, so I'll pause a moment.
No, there is a meeting taking place in the Mayor's Parlour.
Alright, okay, fine. Should we shut the door?
I think we're okay.
Fine, thank you. Proves that these hearing aids don't aid the hearing, and it's just a noise in the background. Right, okay, apologies for absence.
Yes, we have Councillor Gillam.
Thank you. Declarations of interest.
No.
Thank you.
No.
Right, minutes of the meeting of the Plans A held on the 12th of February 2019, and I wasn't present at that one, so for those that were happy with those minutes.
I'm happy.
You were? Yes.
What?
Yes.
Yes, you were. Yeah, it was the one before
Before,
that,
okay,
that
fine.
Harry was the chairman, but this one
Right,
we were.
brilliant, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was just left
Yeah,
last one as
happy.
usual. Must have been an easy meeting. Right, so we've
You need
got
to sign if you're happy that they're correct. We'll just phone that George in case they need some permission before ours and then leave.
probably initially need to pay them.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Also ask that one. Some do it one way, some do it another, different places.
Well, in theory, I think it's supposed to do every page just to prove that it's
Well,
not
it's just
doctored.
That's it. I can't say to you, please substitute this page then.
No.
It says that he was joking for the sake of the tape.
Okay,
I think that.
we'll pop those away.
Any public questions?
No, none have been
Thank you.
received.
Any letters of objection?
No, none have been received.
Right, okay, we move on to applications for the week ending 1st of March, 8th of March and the 15th of March, all 2019. Right, we start off with 5190339, 31 Granby Avenue, and the committee expressed concerns that the proposal does not offer sufficient parking provision on the site and therefore does not meet the objections of policy T11, residential parking standards, and of the Harpenden Neighbourhood Plan 2008 in 2033. And there was a bit I forgot to do, is to announce that this, I believe, is now the second meeting, the first of Plans A, that is considering things under the local neighbourhood plan, the final version approved at referendum rather than under the district plan review. And on that, I also need to ask a question. Does the district plan come into it at all?
We can use the district plan, we can refer to it if we need to, but the idea is that we should, as best as possible, make all of our recommendations based on the Harpenden Neighbourhood Plan.
Right, thank you very much for that
So we
clarification.
can, but it's, yeah, the idea is to try and refer to that as best as possible.
So, is everybody happy with that particular conclusion?
I think it covers our standard objection to this parking problem that we always seem to have.
This is really just an amendment actually to already permitted application.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, item 2, 5190345, 33 Stewart Road, no comment required by committee. 5/19/03/61, 11 Westway, no comment required by committee. 5/19/03/74, 45 Note Shop, no comment required by committee. 11A Willoughby Road, and that's 5/19/01/57. Right, recommendation is that we recommend refusal. The proposed parking provision on the site does not address the objectives of policy T11, residential parking standards of the Hartland Neighbourhood Plan. Any comments on that one, or are we happy?
No.
Thank you. 5/19/01/63, 93 Oxford Lane. This application does not meet the criteria for consideration by the committee. 5/19/03/20, land at rear of 32 Ridgewood Drive. Recommend refusal. Proposed new dwelling in this location is out of keeping with the surrounding area in the terms of contemporary design and use of materials which could cause detrimental impact to the surrounding properties in the vicinity. A number of trees are to be removed with no replanting scheme in place to the detriment of the surrounding area and the species currently inhabiting the site.
Mr.
Okay,
Corbett,
any comment?
huge lot of
There's a bit more.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so
Oh,
carry on.
Yeah, the proposal therefore fails to meet the policies of ESD1. That's environment and sustainable design. Perhaps I should actually point those out, but it doesn't come out very well. And ESD2, Little 2, local character and heritage, and ESD14, trees and hedges. So the ESD1 first of all was design and strategy. The Hartland Neighbourhood Plan. Are we happy with that one?
Okay with that?
Yeah.
yes,
It's interesting to see a bit that you've been involved in personally come into play, I must say. There we are.
What about the document itself, you mean?
Well, the ESD was the bit that I particularly participated in, so it was.
really,
I don't know, but we've all done.
yes,
I think Pip was the same, and you.
yes,
I think all three of you sat on
sure
this one,
I
didn't
can
you?
remember that.
It's interesting from that point of view. Right. 5/19/03/24, 57 Ox Lane. Application does not meet the criteria for consideration by committee. 5/19/03/26, 5 Rye Close. No objection to the proposal, is acceptable development and meets the objectives of policy ESD1, design strategy, ESD2, local character and heritage, and T11, residential parking standards of the Hartland Neighbourhood Plan, and obviously T is transport, isn't it? Right, anything on that one?
No.
Thank you.
And it's got the first bit, isn't it, the neighbourhood plan, isn't it?
5/19/03/30, 18 The Close. Recommended application. This application does not meet the criteria for consideration by the committee. 5/19/03/40, 34 Tuckles Way. No objection. The proposal is acceptable development and meets the objectives of policies ESD1, design strategy, ESD2, local character and heritage, and T11, residential parking standards of the Hartland Neighbourhood Plan. Any comment on that one?
Is it much changed from the previous application?
My wording is, the proposal differs little from the previously received scheme.
Yeah.
HTC had no problem. Apart from the side first floor extension stepped in by 1 metre. Parking provision remains the same, but bedrooms remain at 5 from the existing application.
Yes, right. Fine, I think that's fine.
Thank you. 5/19/03/54, 4 The Close. No objection. The proposal is acceptable development and meets the objectives of policies ESD1, Design and Strategy, ESD2, Local Character and Heritage, and T11, Residential Parking Standards of Harpenden Neighbourhood Plan 2018. Thank you.
Yes, definitely.
5190357.
Number 7, and land to the rear of 5A.
Right, at number 7
Yeah.
and land to the rear of 5A Oxlade. No comment required by committee.
No.
5190367, 11 Westminster Fields. This application does not reach the criteria, meet the criteria of consideration of the law. Sorry, I'll start that one again. Take teeth out, put back in. This application does not meet the criteria for consideration by the committee.
Fine.
Thank you. 5190093, 14 The Warren. No objection. The proposed new dwelling on the site is in accordance with the Harpenden Neighbourhood Plan 2018. 5190308, 122 Eastmoor Park. No comment required by the committee. 5190338. This one gets complicated.
Yeah, it's like a tandem application. So
Right.
essentially, it's kind of a split of the information where it says alterations to openings and replacement front cladding at numbers 124 and a single-storey rear extension at number 126 at 124 and 126 Cousins Road.
Thank you.
It's a tandem application, but they're both having different things on.
Yeah, okay, with it.
Possibly. I don't know.
It usually does on the builder. If you've got one builder working on two properties.
Planning application.
Oh, that does. Interesting, that one.
I don't know, possibly.
Should do.
Yeah, you think
Well,
so.
you submit one
It is
application.
in a sense one, but the thing with that is that if you're going to do it, you have to do it exactly as you've applied for. So you can't have numbers as 124 do their work. 126 also have to do their work.
Okay, fine. So now, I've done that one. Thinking about it, I've done that personally as well. We realised quite how it came out on paper. Right, this one's, after all that, no objection. The proposals to use locally listed building in the Harpenden Conservation Area comply with the policies ESD1, Design Strategy, and ESDT, Local Character and Heritage of the Harpenden Neighbourhood Plan.
Yeah.
Yes.
There again. 5190343, 25 Wellback Rise. Application does not meet the criteria for consideration by the committee. 5190113, the White Horse Public House, Hashing Green. Committee to consider.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay.
here we come to the traffic.
Okay.
And say that there is then another second proposal on, should we do them?
We consider them both
individually?
together,
Yeah.
no, because they have to do two separate applications because they're doing a demolition of a listed building.
Listed building, yeah.
Part of the listed building, so they have to do a tandem application, but they're both in the census plan.
Right, the second one is 5190220, also the White Horse Public House. And we are actually considering on the first one, construction of single-storey side extension following demolition of outbuilding and non-original extensions, alterations and refurbishment, construction of two detached buildings for Class C1 hotels, accommodation, associated landscape and parking. And the second part being listed building consents, construction of single-storey side extension following demolition of outbuilding and non-original extension, alterations and refurbishment, construction of two detached buildings with Class C1 hotels, accommodation, associated landscape and parking. Excuse me, I control the voices.
Right, okay, so that there is essentially the existing site plan, and then this is the proposed site plan. Okay, and then in addition to that, we've got the floor plan for what they're proposing to do, and then we've got the elevation and flooring. what they're proposing to do. This one here is a much better one to see in terms of the landscaping and the parking and those sorts of things.
Have we got pictures of what's there current?
I knew.
Yes, this is another picture.
You knew I was going to ask that.
I did, they're
What's
just
the
under
plan?
here. I've got them just under here.
Thank you.
There was quite a lot of documentation for it.
Because you can look at it and then you look at the drawing and
Yeah.
you go,
Okay, so this is the existing elevation. Is that existing? No, they're not online sheet, anyway, existing here.
sorry, we don't like things, we're only mendations.
Sorry, we only got through?
We don't like things, we're only mendations.
Okay. I'll just agree with you.
You're not allowed to use that word in Parliament.
Alright, here we are, 3016.
Thank you.
That's the existing elevation. So, I mean, essentially at the moment, it's quite a small
Ouch.
development. So, I highlighted some wording from the planning statement to help us have an understanding of exactly what it is. The planning and listed building application submission seeks permission to demolish an existing outbuilding and 1990s extension and a 2005 extension to the public house. The proposal also involves an extension to the public house to provide additional dining and kitchen facilities, as well as the development of 2 buildings in the grounds of the existing building to provide 15 rooms to provide on-site accommodation. The proposals represent the comprehensive restoration, refurbishment and extension to the existing listed public house and the creation of sensitive new build on-site accommodation in the grounds to provide a sound, viable basis for the continued operation of the public house at this
Thank
site.
you, Lucy. There's a lot of land there. There's a lot of land. It's a building that is so well known as you come into Harpenden from the west. It is providing one of the things that we've come out in the neighbourhood plan in many ways with the need for a bit of accommodation. I have not looked at the structures that have been built here, but the basic principle of the thing is well shielded. Where the buildings have been put are quite away from the road. It goes downhill, so you don't people looking up wouldn't have a problem. From the road you can't see too much of the thing. There's a lot of land there. What's the structure like?
Have you not seen that yet? You might well go, we'll let that one go around.
Okay. So, I mean, in many ways this is a needed asset for sort of that sort of the number of buildings where they've kept them low, they haven't done anything stupid like put in for something. Lots of stories.
So there's a single story element and then there's a 2-story element.
I can see, yes, that's right.
Sorry, which one are you looking at, Mike? Ah, yeah, I think we need to look at the other one. If you swap at the moment, we'll...
No, I don't think there was a street scene.
Google.
That's
Doing it just now. Yeah, no, that's okay. I was just literally doing it now. I was a little bit behind with trying to...
That's the main existing building. That's what you see.
Yeah.
So there would be set back from it. Let's see. I know that's full of it.
In this picture here, so it's actually sort of like an aerial view, just to help you sort of get an idea. So essentially, it's the extensions will come from the back of the pub along here, and then the new build accommodation will be in this area here. So the existing parking will be retained as it is at the moment.
That's going to be a question.
Yeah, so
Do we know what the number of parking spaces?
47, yeah, 47.
To how many rooms?
15 rooms, but obviously the 47 needs to support the clientele for the pub
Yes,
as well
pub
as
as well.
accommodation.
I mean, the other question is the restaurant side of it going or diminishing, or is that staying out?
No, they're looking to expand it.
This extension here.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
so that would be a concern on the parking.
I think part of the issue that they've got is sort of reading through the planning statement is that actually the kitchen facilities that they've got now is just are inadequate for what
Yes.
they're needing, and essentially what they're trying to do, and it's sort of explained here. The extension will also accommodate further dining space, which alongside the improved kitchen facilities will enable more covers within the public house, therefore improving the viability of the business, which is essential to the long-term operation of the business. And obviously they always sort of comment and stuff about the viability of businesses and things, but I think they're sort of in a sense feeling that they have much more opportunity to widen the business if they have more dining
Yes.
space and kitchen facilities.
Keep talking as well, a bit closer to the big picture of the area. And no letters of objection.
No.
No, but that's basic because there's such a lot of land there, I think.
I think realistically the properties that are most likely to be potentially affected would be the ones along what would be West Common, so sort of the dog leg that you can see to the right.
Yes, that's
Over here, yeah.
Yeah, because the properties over towards the left have got vast amounts of greenery and landscape between them.
Well, certainly we know somebody lives in one of those houses. I'm surprised he hasn't chirped up. But,
I don't believe, I can just double check, but there wasn't the other day when I was
I
preparing.
couldn't see any. But I do have trouble on my machine at home actually viewing these plans and bits and pieces. I need a better machine to do it. Better set of eyeballs as well. So how are we fitting this with, for instance, loss of greenery, which is under sustainable
Well,
environment and sustainable design?
essentially we're more concerned about loss of trees.
Yeah.
Landscaping to a lesser extent, but it's the loss of trees, which we were still talking
the
about.
trees.
Okay, so after me famously saying they've all gone live today, there are a number of objections on here to it. They've literally gone live today.
How many?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Can you read some of that?
I can, yeah. So which one I've got? So there's number 55 West Common, number 1 Redbourne Lane, 51 West
Could I
Common.
just ask that before you read them out, would you look at the names and consider whether any of them may be associated
Okay, I think
with councils?
what I'll do is number 1 Redbourne Lane, because
Or
I
it
know...
won't.
It doesn't matter to be that the names are associated with it.
Well, yeah, it does from us declaring an interest.
So what I'll do number 1
So
Redbourne
the-
Lane.
Or if you know,
Fine.
if you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
Yeah,
There is one potential that I believe that Julian, does it? Oh, big
Yes,
mum.
there's
Julian's A does it there.
along there.
So I didn't want any crossover on that one. Either way, thank you.
Okay, so these people live at number 1 Redbourne Lane, and they say that we live very near to the pub, and while we do not object to the planning application for the extension of the pub itself, we do strongly object to the construction of 2 detached dwellings for a hotel. This is fundamentally changing the use and size of the pub and does not fit with the residential area and historic conservation area. We're concerned that building a hotel in a quiet residential area very near to other houses will cause numerous problems, including increased noise levels, increased likelihood of disturbances and nuisance, increased traffic on what is already a very busy road, and worry about overflow parking as the car park is usually already full on busy evenings and most weekends. Okay, so that's essentially what their comment is.
That's one side of the road.
Let's choose a different person. So we'll do number 55 West Common. Okay, I'm the owner of 555 West Common, and this is the property that backs onto the eastern boundary of the Whitehall site. The proposed development concerns me for a number of reasons. The proposal would leave the site overdeveloped The size of the proposed development in relation to the existing pub and restaurant is considerable. It looks to be an increase of some 200+% development on the park in a site of only 0.34 hectares. The new development, rather than the original buildings, would be predominant. I appreciate that steps have been taken to minimise the massive development by splitting the hotel accommodation into two and reducing barn 2 to a single-storey building, as well as making the barns design more synthetic, but the barns still dominate the site. Any construction intended to house up to 30 people would. The development remains very large and falls across the site, given the largely rural setting of the conservation area in which it sits, as its proposed size and position, it is not an enhancing factor. The positioning of the barns in proximity to residential properties, I can see that as a result of the pre-application meeting, concern was raised regarding the adverse impact on Sloughton Priory to the north of the site due to scale, height and close proximity to the boundary. The barns were moved further away from the northern boundary and reorientated. The effect of this is that the barns have been moved away from the garden of a single property towards the garden of the 10+ residential homes on the eastern boundary, all of which are listed. Okay, so I mean, there's a few of them. Yes, the construction of the barns consume much of the existing car park. The position of the barns pushes the new location of proposed car parking right up against the eastern boundary, increasing its dominance in relation to the residential properties that abut the eastern boundary of the site, will result in the eastern surrounding properties being overlooked, to leave us very open to the car park. Parking, inconsistent information regarding car parking has been submitted by, on behalf of the White Horse Pub. Did you want me to read another one, or is that enough for us to...
Is that the third one?
Yeah, that's the second one. Okay, let's do...
Have we got somebody in a slightly different location to those?
Well, obviously they're all fairly close to one.
Yeah.
That one was number 2.
Yeah, well, sorry, if we've got somebody on the West Common side, somebody to the rear of the site, and somebody to the left of the site.
I've just read number 55 at home, which is one of the ones
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
revised a bit, and then
Yeah.
Redbourne Lane, number 1 Redbourne Lane. So let's
Yeah.
do number 2 Hatching Ring.
That's so that would be handy.
Side.
Yeah.
I strongly object to the application to turn the White Horse Public House into a hotel for the following reasons. I believe the proposal would adversely affect the neighbourhood in general because it would inevitably cause noise and air pollution and would impact the residents' rights to quiet enjoyment of our property. I also believe that the application was approved would devalue the property in the area and you can't do it there and make it a less desirable place to live. That's not unfortunate on the Canning. So yeah, I think we've probably got a flavour of the feeling. So yeah, they've all gone live today. Those on there. So
Called the Laura side, isn't it?
well, they weren't looking for this.
How do you feel, Mark?
I like the thought of it actually. I was going to say the word thought so far. The car park, the persons who are in West Common said about the car park is huge. It is very it's all gravel, and it could be accommodate a load more cars actually than they do. So the loss of, I don't think there's any loss of car parking spaces actually. It's huge. There is greenery. It's well shielded actually. There are trees galore. I don't think there's only one tree in there that might be affecting the centre of the thing. But I've seen the place. I think that it's nothing to do with planning side things. I think the public are going to see generally in Harpen, and not people locally, they're going to think we've been mad not to consider carefully the provision of hotel accommodation. I think it's I think it fits. If the design and the structure and things could be suitable, so I'm not commenting on that at this moment. We'll thrash it out. That I think it would be, a desirable thing for us to have this. That's the first comment.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah.
I'd just like to say that actually it's quite apt looking at that car park
Yes.
because If you enter that car
Very
park
interesting.
now,
Sorry, I'm just going to do something just to help us. A little bit of,
Oh, that's good, yes.
so what I'm going to do is just draw on here exactly the location as to where the car park
Good, I'd like to see that.
goes from. So,
It's important.
okay, so we'll carry on, you carry on, Kate, and I'll just...
okay, yeah, I was going to say it's very apt because if you drove in that car park at the minute, where would you park?
It's rather full though.
There's 45 cars there.
Are there?
Apparently we've got
Well,
47
counted.
parking spaces. Have you counted there 45 there now?
There's 45
Good one.
there.
Whenever that picture was
Whenever it
taken,
was
we don't
taken.
know when, where or how do we.
It was
Oh,
probably,
yeah.
yeah, obviously 7 years ago, but it's a good indication of how busy that pub gets
You're right now.
in its current state. So to only offer 47 parking spaces, when they're going to have, if they want 15 units and increase the size of the pub, I can't see how they can justify 47 parking spaces being enough.
I was going 30 rooms, so that's a car apiece. So it leaves 17 for the restaurant, hence my question of the restaurant. I mean, like Mike, I mean, I welcome the thought or the desire for a hotel, and we do have to accommodate some small ones since we've lost totally our large hotels. And there is definitely, without doubt, call for accommodation within the town.
I'd just like to point out that,
I'd like to weigh that off against the other arguments.
that actually this council voted for the change of use of the last hotel in Harpenden. So I find it hard to sit here and justify an argument that the same council will argue that we now have to have a hotel
Yeah,
because how long ago?
yeah, not that long.
You're right.
Yeah, I understand on that one, but I mean,
My stroke.
that was coming, I don't disagree with you, but I mean, that was coming on the figures given by the people that ran the hotel, and also the fact that they couldn't market it as a hotel site, so we were stuck with a site that wasn't viable as a hotel twice over.
People did put tenders in to carry it on as a hotel though. They did. There were people willing to take it over as a hotel, but they went for a different bidder that wanted to develop it. So
Yeah,
we can obviously choose to differ, but
yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. It's on churn at the moment, so I'm finding it a difficult one, particularly considering our rules and regulations have changed. I'm now thinking on the lines of how it fits into our new plan.
That's what I was thinking.
We talk on one hand of sustainability, but then we talk on the other about planning and the rest of it. I mean, I'll be blunt on my sins, the other two of them. My personal concern, I'm a little bit concerned about the height of one of the bars. It seems a little bit dominant at the site.
Yes,
It dominates the pub. It dominates the properties to the east. And
that's why I didn't talk about the structure.
Yeah.
I felt the same. My initial thought was that the pub is a very significant building, and as you drive into Harpenden that way, and I wouldn't like to see something big that's dominating it.
Yeah.
I mean, in a sense, you sort of can question whether or not the use of materials and the style and the design is in keeping with the Grade 2 listed existing
Yes.
No, there's that element to it as
I
well.
think it's got to be
Yeah.
part of that. If it were sort of
I mean, if we look at what's there currently, the current later extension to it, that basically accommodates the dining area, that is sort of a what you might call a barn style. So that follows through within this one. We go that's all original building there, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so that white frontage is the
Yeah.
original
So
building,
if
and
we
then
go
this
round,
bit
go
here,
round the back,
this bit here
Yeah.
and that bit there.
That was the
is the
extension
add-on.
that was
that's the
put in.
extension. Unfortunately, we've got all those umbrellas out, but if you drop those umbrellas, the wall from the left-hand gable there is actually clapperboard style, barn style.
Yeah, you can sort of see it a little bit there, can't you?
So the material, as far, I mean, that leads you then to materials are not particularly out, and again, we always put in the caveat, however we word that now, with, obviously, we expect the matching materials. So obviously the conservation area rules haven't changed despite the fact that how it was what it can. Timely one, this one. Whoops.
Yeah, well, they've done, they have tried to make it more viable. I think, I don't know how viable the thing's going. The barn was put in after Pat and Barry Kenton left the thing. There's probably history on this one.
There is.
Yes, it's the size of the building. They utilise the space. There is obviously on the previous one you showed. You can see how much green space is lost with the car park.
Yeah, so my little
That was
my little
good.
snipping design thing. So the red is the vague footprint as to where the car park is going to be,
Yeah.
and the blue just shows the rest of the outline of the plot, so that we can, in a sense,
It's
get
at
an
the top,
idea.
It's at the top right of the blade. That's where it
Yeah.
that's why I wanted a little bit.
Just looking here at the information about the accommodation, barn 2, which has got the second floor element, the first floor has only got 4 rooms in it anyway. So it's a case of that, would it potentially be more in keeping if it remained, barn 2 was a single story element based on the fact that it's only offering 4 further rooms anyway?
Yes.
I mean,
That's a good point.
can I prevail upon the club to, if I say in old-fashioned terms, may I prevail upon the skills to convert it into the new terms? Because
Yes.
despite the fact of having been involved in it and read it, obviously,
No, that's
it's
okay.
still not on the
So-
tip of my tongue.
No, it's fine. So
I mean,
let's get a general
yeah.
idea then as to how we're feeling about
Well,
this
I'll
particular
start, and
application.
then I'll be answered by the other two as to whether they agree or disagree. I find that the central barn, that is slightly over bulky. I'm not overstruck on, so I'm going on with both sides of massing on that usual, on that one. I am concerned about the loss of green space, trees, and I am concerned about parking as ever. So those would be my 3 that I express concern on. Now, whether they are sufficient to recommend refusal, I'm unclear at this moment in time. If I phrase it that way, I don't know whether that helps the other two, gives the other two the opportunity to pick up
Well, I think
where they're going
Go,
with it.
you go, Pip.
No, you can't.
Okay. Just say I think you picked on the 3 of the things which I think are good there.
So I'll add in what's that effect on the
I would like
neighbours.
to see just expressed, the words expressed, because I don't want, I'd rather not see it refused. I like the principle. I think that what you highlighted, when there is the lost trees always would be a problem, but as I said, I think the building size, that does concern me actually.
That middle barn
The struggle.
is too high.
I would say I'd like to. The principle, if the fits in, because that would make the street seem right, because you see over the hedge and all the rest of it. So I think it's very important because it's a building that's I've seen it for years and things, and I think if it can be, the development can be put in the side, I think it would provide a pretty good usage there. And I think because times move on all the time as we go, and I appreciate what Pip has said actually, very much so. But
So certainly for me, I'm totally unhappy about the second story on that one.
yes, that's the.
I know that they've taken a line across from that roof, but that's a tiny cottage.
Yes.
That's the gable end of a small cottage, and that's a blooming great big lump.
Yes, that's my major.
To put it in technical
That's
terms.
that's my major concern about the thing. That's the,
So we're agreed on that one. We're overstruck on, which is that barn 1 or barn 2?
Barn 2.
Barn 2. So we're extremely concerned about barn 2 at this moment in time.
It thinks so too, I don't know.
What I'm concerned about is all of it.
Mm.
Yes.
I'm concerned about the change of use full stop. I totally appreciate their need to expand the restaurant,
Yes.
both
Well,
in
they have-
terms of the seating they provide, let alone the kitchen area, and that's more than happy about. But I'm not happy with the change of use, particularly. It'd be a different situation if they were asking for permission to maybe put 3 rooms for B&B above the pub.
Yeah.
But 15 units, I would say, to add to this area for these residents. And the fact that, as we pointed out, it's going to be a major loss of green space just to provide all the parking for it. I'm not convinced it's sufficient parking. And I just think it's a major loss of amenity to the residents. So, it's just that the whole scale of the accommodation I'm not happy with at all.
So what would you say?
I would recommend refusal on the change of use as it is in that project.
Oh, good. Oh, Bob.
Well, to be honest,
I'm okay with the change of use, actually.
to be honest, we have to be clear here, there isn't a change of use to it.
There isn't. It is already C1. C1 is.
Purely extensions,
Yeah.
there's no change of use. It's
Well,
additional,
oh, that's
it's
interesting.
additional extensions, yes. There's no change of use because it's going to remain as a public house, at least, as it is, just extending, and then there's the
So it's-
addition of these
so
2
that's completely
accommodation
opposite then.
buildings.
So it currently is class C1.
Yes, there's no change of use for it.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, it's not that there's a change of use. The construction of the 2 new buildings are going to be Class C1, but there isn't obviously at the moment the
So
location.
yeah, okay, fine. So it's not
Yeah.
change of use, but it's an
It's the
application
introduction
for C1,
of...
C1 on the site. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the pub is not C1, it's C.
Well, that would be something completely different. So a public house would be...
The introduction.
the introduction, absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm...
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah. So C1 is the hotel. I'm not quite sure actually what...
I just think at the moment, that pub probably
April.
doesn't shut that
Hmm?
late.
Oh, April.
Yeah, it probably doesn't shut that late. Because I should imagine it's predominantly people, I know, Housestone, whatever, people do drive there obviously. I just think it's changing the ballgame totally to having 15 rooms, like you say, which would probably be 30 people, perhaps more. That could change the whole atmosphere at that site.
But with respect to things, a hotel of that size in that sort of area, it's not, I don't think there's going to be late nights or opening. If you were opening a sort of dance floor or what have you and things like that, that would be totally different. Sort of thing.
The difficulty is with accommodation like that, it's not like back in the days where it was like, the B&B run by a lady, where there are lots of
This
doors
isn't
and
a
a
B&B.
this is something very different. There could be people arriving and leaving, bearing in mind that we're not that far away from the
24
Luton
hours.
Airport,
Yeah.
24 hours a day. Really, realistically, potentially people could be arriving quite late and leaving quite early in the morning. With the location of the car parking very close to the residents along West Common, it's, in a sense, you sort of, there's quite a few things to be borne in mind.
I am really, really stuck on this one, and I'm erring on the side that Pip is. Although I understand exactly where Mike's coming from the point of view of it is an appropriate thing from within the town, but whether that site is the right one is my difficulty, because of the loss of trees, because of the nuisance value, because it does change it effectively into a 24-hour operation. A hotel is a 24-hour a day game, and you've got the associated noise car movements and the rest of it that go with it, is a particularly sensitive location. It is a locally listed building, which has already had consents to go as far as the restaurant and the rest of it.
Well, it's quite residential.
It is quite residential, and this is morphing from a local pub to something totally different. And that's it. I mean, it's been alright, I was so-and-so, and if anybody does the math, I'll be in trouble.
Okay, I know I tend to come into it a bit, because obviously commercial aspect, I tend to come into it a bit, it's not planning,
Yeah.
the sense of the viability of our town.
How does it support the viability of the town? What does it bring to it then, Mike?
Well, I think it has to, it stops people going elsewhere, because there isn't any, but okay, I take this point about the hotels that sort of cited before, and the old moat house situation. But it provides, I'd say, small hotel. We don't want to see massive big hotel. I think it's a small hotel thing.
It's just something you find out.
Yeah, there is. So the kind of coming back to the neighbourhood plan, in a sense, in theory, the neighbourhood plan does support this sort of development. I mean, I'll just read here. So, visitor accommodation including hotels. Proposals for new visitor accommodation including hotels are encouraging appropriate locations that are in close proximity to town and local centres. So in a sense, yes, it does support that. However, something which Carl made very clear to me is that just because of something is right in one particular policy, it doesn't mean it overrides where other areas are failing. So I think the fact that we've raised a few issues, I don't feel that we can, in a sense, support it fully.
We can't approve.
No, can't approve.
No.
That's something we're certain. It's then how far down the road we go from that. From flat refusal and finding the policies that substantiate that and the reasons that lead us to those policies.
Based on what we've said, I think we have to say recommend refusal. Based on what we've been saying.
So
as soon as you start getting into the realms of saying something is too large, too bulky, we're concerned about loss of trees and landscaping, we're also concerned about the car parking. There's too many elements there for us to be able to say express concern.
If you take out the element that it's providing accommodation when we have no hotel, that is the only thing going for it.
Okay, I know I'm being honest on this one. I don't like them because I think that rather there was an MP last night who voted, Mr. Beatty, who voted for the thing and against. And the reason was and the reason he did that apparently was so that he could clarify, he could make it so that he was abstaining. I'm that view. I don't want to refuse, just like that.
I
have to go along with you.
Some people call that sitting on the fence there.
Well, I'm saying if you want to, I agree with you. That is typically, I don't want to sit on that. I don't want to recommend refusal.
No, with that, Mike, and the sensibilities, but having listened to what I was going to ask, having listened to what Heather's led us to anyway, on that.
I'll go with whatever he said, but the others. But I just make my point that I would personally, I would say just go with the express concerns. But that's, well, I'll go with. I won't upset you.
I can certainly make comments within the recommendation about the, fundamentally the local plan does support this nature.
Yes.
However, we are recommending refusal due to.
That would help me go along.
So really what we're wanting to, in a sense, encourage here is that potentially that the White Horse will come back with a slightly more agreeable scheme.
Yes.
Really.
Yes.
But I mean, Chris already mentioned the point, the site of building, which I didn't like that.
Consider the relocation maybe of some of the parking, so that we're not actually having cars parked closer towards the West Common cottages, but maybe further over.
At the top end of the.
We think where we don't have quite so much accommodation, in a sense, we want to encourage them to come back with a.
Are you able to come up with a close form of words?
Absolutely.
Can we go it? Or
So no, that's fine. So what I will do is I'll put together some wording. You know, I do need to recognise that the town council or the district, so the local neighbourhood plan does support this
Yes.
style of accommodation. However,
Yeah.
due to
Yeah.
the following reasons, we are recommending refusal of this particular scheme.
I'm very happy with
Yeah.
that wording.
It is in a residential area. It's not exactly a short walk from town. It's a stretch. I mean, to make up my mind to go there for a libation, I have to really be in the mood to do it, to actually walk that far out of town.
So are we
It is
just
a stretch.
generally
It is
happy
residential, it is rural.
Are we generally happy to sort of kind of then essentially with that
I'm not
basis
sure
of
what
that
that,
wording?
no,
Yeah.
I've got the
I think, you know, ultimately this isn't, I don't think, going to go away. This is the first bite of the cherry. They'll come back hoping
It's
for something
typical of something that should
different.
go forward and come back and then...
Because the fact that there is only 4 rooms in the first floor element, it's not as if we're talking about even halving the amount of accommodation space that they're wanting to offer, which is suggesting
Yeah.
something that's much more lower level.
Yeah. Oh, so this is, I mean, I shouldn't liken one plan approach to another, but this is a little like the COP. It's going to be a little bit of backwards and forwards
Yes.
negotiation before we get something that's acceptable to both parties and we go ahead.
Fine, I think that's
Okay.
good thing.
So I think we need to be, I think the other bit to help you, Mike, is we need to be strong on the first one.
Yeah.
We just don't fall over like a
No,
barrel
I
of
think
skills.
you,
And
open the
we go
neighbourhood
for it.
plan, you cover what I think is central, you know, just whilst we, you know,
Yeah.
we like support, so...
Because we can't ignore this document, you know. This
I see, we
is
put
something that
we put a lot of
Council
blood, sweat and
No,
tears
we-
into
we
producing
want-
that, so to ignore our own document, and it's ours, it's not the district one we're trying to marry into, it is our own plan, so we must
But
support it.
it does have to be right, you know, we can't say yes because of it's hit most of it.
I think it was a good discussion, that, so...
Yeah.
Thank you very much on that one, and thank you for all of you for contribution on that one. I looked at that one, large intake of breath,
Right, I'll put my bit of notes together.
and there's the 2 elements of it, so obviously what you've
It
got
will
to
be
say is
repeated,
going to
yeah.
be split between
It's
the
a
2 or
repeated
repeated 1
wording.
or 2. Okay, thank you. Right, we move on to 519-0304. Application doesn't meet the criteria for consideration of committee, like 20 High Street. 519-0316, 34 Southdale Road. No objection. The proposals for the property are in keeping with the Hartford Conservation Area and in accordance with the policies ESD1, Design Strategy, ESD2, Local Character and Heritage, ESD15, Sustainability and Energy Efficiency, ESD18, Flood Risk, and T11, Residential Parking Standards of the Hartford Neighbourhood Plan 2018.
I think you covered it.
Right, okay on that one. Thank you. 519-0329, no comment required by committee. Sorry, I should say that. And the address on that was 14 The Warren. No, it's not 14 The Warren, I got that wrong. I've flipped 2 pages.
So it's the old cooking.
That was the top, the one that you referred to a few minutes ago.
No, that was the... Yeah, what?
Yeah, so the old cook, yeah. Was the no comment required by the committee, and then moving on, we're now on to Wordsworth, 28 Wordsworth.
Thank you. 519-0349. 28 Wordsworth, this application does not meet the criteria for consideration by the committee. 519-0368, the George Public Housing Inn. Have I slipped
No,
something?
George.
Oh,
This is
it's
Oh,
different.
George, right, no.
it's
Different
George
time.
now.
Is it pub night? Must go for a stroll afterwards. Right, no objection to the proposed awnings do not detract from the character of this luxurious building in the Hartford Conservation Area and meet the objectives of policies ER1, supporting Hartford's economy, ER5, supporting the Hartford Town Centre economy, ESD1, design strategy, and ESD2, local character and heritage for the Hartford Neighbourhood Plan 2018.
Oh, delighted to see a sort of shop
Thank you.
next door to it, so...
Yep, there we go. I see it looks like it's going to be quite good. We get these periods where we get a lump of all breweries decided to do it at the same time. I mean, with two closed locally, two significant ones closed locally, it's changed the eclectic mix of the town centre, I must say. Big word, sorry.
Eclectic.
Yes, eclectic mix, yes. The diversity of the attendees of service and drinking establishments.
Absolutely. That's it. One mustn't admit.
In other words, Chris is having to share his pub with youngsters.
Well, that's shut.
Well, there's the George.
Because it's shut at the moment.
Yeah,
The George is shut,
Old Coffee.
and Hop's shut. So, well, I'll declare the interest. The Inn on the Green is full of noisy so-and-sos.
Oh dear.
They want music.
The cross keys just remains the same.
Right, 519, and after that hilarity, sorry members of the public that are watching this, 519 0396 37, 39 and 41 Hollybush Lane. No comment required by the committee. 519 0094 2 Manland Way.
This is something SADC refused it, didn't they?
No objection to the proposed new dwelling on the site is in keeping with the character and heritage of the supporting area, surrounding area. The existing trees and landscaping is retained with additional proposed and sufficient parking provisions is provided on site, Therefore, the proposal complies with policies ESD1 design strategy, ESD2 local character and heritage, ESD14 trees and hedges, and T11 residential parking and standards of the Hartland neighbourhood plan.
And it's covered all the things that
Yeah.
you would
So is everybody happy with that?
Yes.
Fine, we've been consistent forever.
That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
That's it.
And that's the other thing, when we're going these ones, we've got to set
Well,
consistency.
you get that.
And under the new rules, we have to be very careful with the first ones we do, because we make a rod for our back. 519 0359 10 Grasmere Avenue. No objection. Proposal is acceptable and it meets the objectives of the ESD1 design strategy, ESD local character and heritage, T11 residential parking standards of the Hartland neighbourhood plan.
Excellent.
Don't flip it.
Right. 519 0405 41 Bloomfield Road. No comment required by the committee. 519 0409 16 Brackendale Grove. No comment required by committee. 519 0222 St John's Church Hall. Right, recommend refusal. This proposal is in accordance with policy I'll read that again. Recommendation refusal. This proposal is in accordance with policy S13, venues for community use of the Hartland neighbourhood plan terminated. However, it does not comply with the policy ESD14 trees and hedges of the Hartland neighbourhood plan, has not detailed replacement tree strategy,
Has no detailed replacement tree strategy
in place. Sorry, I missed a bit. Need glasses as well as turning the ears up. Concern is also expressed over the two-storey east elevation element and the possible detrimental impact on the residents of Loire Mews, which is contrary to the objectives of policies ESD1, design strategy, and ESD2, local character and heritage and Hartland and neighbourhood plan.
Well, this is where something that goes to SADC, if it ends up in Plymouth North, I think this is where Hartland and neighbourhood plan spells it out a bit, where it says, however, it does not comply, because, you know, there are so many Hartland issues here which they must look at.
I must admit, I did sit on the fence with this one, to the point where I was looking at it shortly before it was time to go home. I thought, no, I'll go home and I'll come back and I'll look at it again in the morning, because I ummed and ahed, I seriously ummed and ahed, but fundamentally I was just concerned about, I mean I can show it to you very, very quickly, my concern related to the two-storey element that was overlooking the properties at the back.
Yes.
I just was not sure, in a sense, that it's just this element here was what I was quite concerned about, just here, bearing in mind with the close proximity of the properties in Loire Mews, which are just here. You could sort of see I can probably show it to you actually better in this picture here, because it shows the close proximity. So if I can just point out
This is where they...
that, yeah, I don't know if you can sort of see it. I've just circled it round there, and if I circle it again round here. Okay, so if you look here, there's where it's circled is where the pool is, and this is Loire Mews here. So it's going to be a two-storey element coming up here and overlooking. So I just wasn't 100% sure. I couldn't take my Google Maps down there, unfortunately. The little car hasn't gone down there for me to be able to look.
Yes,
But I just wasn't sure.
it's sad to think we're turning down something of community use.
Exactly.
And that's why I think I share your sort of thoughts on that.
Yeah.
But we've got to stick to some of the
Because
things.
if you look in at the windows that are going to be looking directly out on the first floor element just here, all of those windows there were going to be looking out, and I just, as much as I didn't want to.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, that again is where we have to, particularly in the early days of establishing how we use the land, is take that care. Whereas we've got the one that we deliberated on, and we deliberated, I believe, quite fairly on that one. You have to take yourself away to a certain extent from the use and look at the planning, and that's what we need to do, is look at the planning objections and decide with the head, not with the heart. And this is one is regrettably I believe that's the right decision that we review.
And that, the officer may go from St Albans and feel that there isn't going to be a detrimental impact, but I'm not sure.
We are a carpenter committee, and I think we've got to look at I think in this case, that's why I did a particular reference to what we've got in the neighbourhood plan here.
The particular device of neighbourhood plans has pushed planning from closer to the community, so we need to embrace that opportunity and use it wisely.
Interestingly, although we're going back, the White Horse application, the planning statement, the people who compiled that were making reference to the local neighbourhood plan. They were referring to the policies that they felt that it had addressed or was in compliance with, which was really interesting.
Yep.
Okay, so we're happy with that St John's one then, yeah?
Thank you. Thank you for your hard work on that.
All right.
519-03773 West Common Way, no comment required by committee. 519.
I lived there.
Sorry?
I did
You did live there at one time.
Yes.
Is there anywhere you haven't? I mean, is there a property you would not like to declare an interest in?
Well, I don't think there's any property that either Mike hasn't lived in or Harry has delivered his
That was
that
the nicest house, and there's work going on there now.
Well, if we're on the one-upmanship, I think I can actually boast that I've delivered a leaflet, political, some flavour or other, to every single house in this in this town at least twice over a period of years.
Lovely house.
Right, yes, so very nice down there. Right, 519-0414, 20 Newton Close. No comment required by committee. 519-0417, 82 Eastmore Park. No objection. The proposed extensions are in accordance with policies ESD1 Design Strategy, ESD Local Character and Heritage, and T11 Residential Parking Standards of the Hartland Neighbourhood Plan. We're okay with that one?
Yeah.
519-0435, 37 Grove Road. Right. This application does not meet the criteria for consideration by the committee. 519-0442, 4 Berrywick, no comment required. 519-0429, 23A Leighton Road, no comment required by committee. 519-0430, 10 Churchfield, No objection. The proposed extensions are in accordance with policies ESD1 Design Strategy, ESD2 Local Character and Heritage, and Tier 11 Residential Parking Standards of the Hartland Neighbourhood Plan 2018. Five 190083, 68 Station Road. No comment required by committee. 5/19/02/16, 21 Crossway. This application does not meet criteria. 5/19/0472, 22 Manland Way. No objection. The proposed extensions are in accordance with policies ESD1 Design Strategy, ESD2 Local Character and Heritage, and T11 Residential Parking Standards of the Hartland Neighbourhood Plan 2018. Okay. 5/19/0473, 22 Manland Way. No comment required. 5/19/0489, 97 Crabtree Lane. No objection. The proposed extensions are in accordance with policies ESD1 Design Strategy, ESD2 Local Character and Heritage, and T11 Residential Parking Standards of the Hartland Neighbourhood Plan. 5/19/0450, 14 Tufnells Way. No objection. The proposed extensions are in accordance with policies ESD1 Design Strategy, ESD Local D2 Local Character and Heritage, and T11 Residential Parking Standards of the Hartland Neighbourhood Plan. 5/19/0454, 14 Tufnells Way again. No comment required by committee. 5/19/0458, 4 The Warren. No objection. The proposed extensions are acceptable and in accordance with the policies ESD1 Design Strategy, ESD2 Local Character and Heritage, and T11 Residential Parking Standards of the Hartland Neighbourhood Plan. 5/19/0464, 12 Sherwood Rise. No comment required by committee. And we're on the final furlong. 5/19/0470, 61 Meadway. No objection. The proposed new dwelling on the site is in accordance with the Hartland Neighbourhood Plan.
And now we have problem. Not doing nothing, now we've got to
Right.
consider.
5/19/0501, land rear of 96 to 98 Crowell's Road. Easy to consider.
Here we go.
Okay, I said committee to consider because in a sense I sort of started to run out of time before I had to get this out to you. So I did have an opportunity today to be able to look at it properly, and I have sort of prepared my various notes, including my very long, sort of recommendation. So if I can sort of set the scene a little bit for you as to where this is. I'll close down my... Okay, so this one, although on paper it sounds awful, it's actually not as bad as you might think.
So stupid.
Well, strictly they live in East Common.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, so...
It's the servants' entrance that's into Crowell's Road.
So what it is that so Crowell's Road moves into Eastmoor Park. So if I just I'll go back onto Crowell's Road, you might be able to recognise it. So directly opposite Ski Bridge are these two properties here, so Crowell's Road, just here. And then we've got Eastmoor Park that goes down the side, just here. So essentially what they're looking to do is behind this large Leylandii hedge, which is actually owned by Herts County Council. This isn't the boundary of the site, it's actually a highway plan. We double checked today on the GIS information. So behind the gate is quite a sizable plot for
No, work that out.
No. So if I take you
It's just
I'll
a bit lost now.
do it on here. So you're a bit lost, are you?
Yes, I was with it, but
I'll come back.
You're round the corner in Eastmoor,
yes, okay.
and then to
Come
the
out and then I'll
right,
be able to show you
after the
the
LNDA hedge, is the
Yeah,
other gate.
so these,
Yes.
so here is the Cravels Road houses. You can see here that there is already an actual boundary line already been put sort of kind of into the garden. So this brown area is the plot that they're wanting to essentially put this. new
So somebody's
property on.
acquired the plot and marked it out effectively.
Possibly.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
possibly. I mean, this imagery is up to date, so there are some photographs that have been submitted with the drawings that you can have a glance at, which just gives you a little bit more of an idea. But my notes were that it's an infill development, the plot is at the end of the road, with easy access and an open site. Use of gardens for number 9698 Cravels Road. Plot seems ample to accommodate the proposal with adequate immediate space retained by number 96 and 98 Cravels Road. 4 parking spaces for a 3-bedroom property. There's windows only to the front with Velux roof lights to add light to the first floor element. There's no loss of trees on the main site, and the Leylandia on the boundary being retained, which is how County Council owned. Existing access is being used. So,
I see fair to say this is a 2-storey, 3-bedroom dwelling with
It
detached
is.
garage associated.
yes, it is.
Just to clarify.
So I can just show you so that you can have a better idea of what they're proposing. So I ultimately didn't actually have an issue with it once I had an opportunity to look at it. See what your viewpoints are on it.
Any letters at all?
Right.
No, they weren't.
Yeah.
They weren't at about 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Those others with the other applications, they appeared after 2.
I don't know. There's
Oh,
no
you don't
time.
know.
It's on there.
I just wondered when you said they appeared today. Just wondering whether
Well,
it's
they
wise to
dated
check.
document type for
Okay.
Tuesday, 26th of March,
Yeah.
which is when it was
I
put
can
up,
only see
so...
one. I can only see one coming from Mr. Bedhill. Perhaps but on principle.
What number does Mr. Greghill live
I
at?
think 106, I think.
Oh, right.
Well, I mean,
No,
with
well,
materials,
100,
whether we've got
no,
one or not
100.
now.
I don't think we should be making assumptions about
No,
the
no, I think you're entirely right. So withdraw, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll
Peter.
just double check so that there aren't anything on there, but
Yeah,
the
just
fact
let
that
me know.
those other ones did appear today.
I think,
I mean, ultimately, the people to complain would be the applicants, really,
yes,
because the other houses are so far
but as
away.
you said, it's tucked away, it's an infill thing. I see.
It is in keeping, isn't it, with
I
the
think it's
council
in
office,
keeping.
not in Cravels
It
Road, but
is,
the ones
I
I
around.
think it's in keeping.
You know,
It
when you
fits.
see it,
Mm.
It's
modest.
unusually modest.
yes.
Mm.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think you're Pip's right. I think it's. I
I
can't see.
won't make the cynical comment.
I think there's. I'd go along with it.
Okay,
Well,
so
okay.
my long wording was, no
Good.
objection. The proposed new dwelling in this infill location is in keeping and sympathetic in design and style to the surrounding properties in the Hartland Conservation Area, which is in accordance with the objectives of policies ESD 1 Design Strategy, Preamble, ESD 2 Local Character and Heritage, and H1 Housing Strategy. There is no loss of the trees and existing landscape screening is to be retained, which is in accordance with policy ESD 14 Trees and Hedges. Sufficient parking provision is provided for the site, which is in accordance with policy T11 Residential Parking Standards of the Harpenden Neighbourhood Plan 2018 to 2033. That's okay?
Yes,
Brilliant.
I don't
Thank
think
you.
you could have done better.
Thank you very much.
You
You saved us struggling for the words.
Yes, I'm glad about that.
I think we need a shorthand, so
I have on my computer.
HNP.
I have.
You've got a character you hit, haven't you?
I click a button and it goes, what's your name?
Oh, lovely, brilliant.
I've got, yeah.
Good.
I think Pip's right. There's not This is for the generation of the you know me, the US.
Yeah, no, I mean, my slightly facetious but still meant comment is I wouldn't expect to see that as all. We've got that through. Let's go back with something twice the size.
Yes.
It's not usually when it wasn't the way
No.
how they do it.
But I'm ever the cynic.
I honestly don't think that it's different. And why would they go in and spend the money to get an application like
Well,
that if it's not?
Oh, someone has spotted a nice bit of land there and turned to it.
So we must be. I shouldn't be saying what I'm saying. So
With the
I should
applicant-
say the applicant owns
The
the rest
applicant
of the
owns it, yeah.
Yeah, so that's fine. So it is. Yeah.
And the wording actually in the design and access statement is that it is for the residents to live in it.
Right. Nice.
So whether or not he's downsizing to a smaller dwelling, I'm not so sure.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We'd have a,
Perhaps the house up the garden, he's going to sell the other house.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe. You know,
Yeah, we
Needs
shouldn't
action,
speculate, and I
isn't it?
started
No.
that chain, so
needs actually
my
making
apologies
big
and
grey
all along.
gates and then
as I said, I apologise
small bungalow.
for making presumptions and saying things, but no, that's perfectly happy with that.
Right, 519-0371, Harpton Sports Centre, Rossendale Park. No comment required,
comment required.
that's fine, because on that one I was then asking, I have to declare an interest being on the Rossendale Park Management Committee.
Child conditions.
Yeah. So that's relieved me of that one. 519-0487, 111 Top Street Way.
Don't worry.
The applicant does not meet the criteria for consideration by the committee. And there we go, if everybody's happy.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
No, we need to do
Oh,
we need
sorry,
to do the
sorry, we need
rest
to do
of them,
the,
yes, sorry, we just need to note the other elements on the agenda.
We do, thank you.
So we have appeals,
Right, appeals.
so we just note those that can leave the common,
Yeah,
and number 9 has.
well, can leave the common is without our remit anyway, because that's Harpenden Rural Parish.
Well, it strictly still does, but I think that area of the common does come under Harpenden Town still. Yeah, some of it does, yeah.
It can be, I mean, that's Cat Size old place, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. I thought Peter Barrett would have been...
Yeah.
So
And
anyway,
then
that's just noted, yeah?
9 Haslingden Close.
Yes, just noted, yeah, so both those
Yeah.
noted. And then fire notifications, we'll just note those, I think
Thank
there's just one fire notification. I don't normally have to worry about it.
No.
Demolition of 5-bedroom detached dwelling with garage at 70 West Common.
Well, the houses go way past
Yeah.
beyond the crosses the Redmore Road.
Does, yeah, and goes all the way up.
You're going down towards over the
Maple
Redmore Road.
cottages sort of thing, aren't
They're
they?
big properties,
Right, and then
rather different there.
number 9 is list of weekly St Albans District Council decisions. Anything you need to note on those?
I don't think so, no.
Any variances between what we've said and what they've done?
Let's just very, very quickly glance. I don't think there's anything left out. Well, I suppose this one's slightly annoying, really. This is the application for Station House. You know, the slightly derelict-looking
Yes.
property, and then number 9 to 10 and 11 to 12 Harding Parade. The application for that was withdrawn.
Oh.
So we're still not progressing forward with it being developed, unfortunately. Which is a shame. Yeah, I don't know, they withdrew it, so...
Was that called Station House? Oh, of course it was called Station
Yeah, it
Station
says-
House rather than Station Master's House.
Yeah.
Yeah, the station master has
So
to
is
take the
that-
horse for
That's how the
a while now, and the other side was where the VAT office was.
Yeah, and then it was Barnsley
Sam-
College for a short while, wasn't
It
it?
was Sansella House it was called, and when my father was in '74 they were the VAT officer.
Oh,
They-
really?
Well, Bowie's in there sometimes.
Yes, they were
Yes,
both.
they were.
What
Yeah, they were.
There's been a lot of changes
Yeah.
in that property.
Yes. So now, well, that is slightly annoying. That one's
Yeah, a little bit.
off the thing, and we can expect something else back.
One that we looked at, I think at our last meeting, which was the construction of 4-bedroom dwelling at 4 Banville Wood.
Mm.
Remember, it was the sort of the one that was a very different style, but we felt that it had quite an open frontage. That's been approved.
Right.
I remember that one, yeah.
We didn't object.
No, I think we were
Interested
happy to. I was
something.
unsure,
Yeah.
and I think it was one that we looked at.
Yeah.
But that's been
They're
approved.
all- it didn't come forward, because those houses set back a bit.
They are, yeah.
They didn't come forward, so it would
No.
have been very odd.
Yeah, I think it was just I wasn't sure about the impact that it was going to have. 'Cause it's quite a lot taller, but I think we
Yes.
felt that it was okay, and obviously.
Well, while we're on that particular type of subject, the small decisions compared to ours, I mean, we're particularly interested next time in any ones that any variances
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
on what we've done tonight, whether it was officer delegated or whether it was the others. And that if there is a variance, we need to start to pick up on it because we need to address it.
I don't think necessarily that there should be, because I don't believe that although we have the new document, I don't believe that our viewpoint has changed dramatically, actually, in how we approach things, just that we have a much more robust document for
Yeah.
Harpenden as opposed to having to comply with one for the whole
I
district.
think it's lovely,
Really. So,
what you've got there in front of us.
Right, we'll
Yeah.
answer applications for tree works. There's nothing else here.
yeah, just very quickly, please, I don't think there was anything else that was... No, that's it. Yeah, now we're moving on to tree work, yeah.
Yeah, I'm handing notes on that.
No, not
Thank
really.
you.
No, they're just sort of kind of rubber stamping, really.
So, the next meeting, 16th of April for plans B and...
Yes, the plan
Plan
B on,
A
and then,
is-
no, so this is then the next one, it will be the 1st of April for plans north.
All right, so we've got, this is our final ones?
No, so
we've got one, we've got the
our-
monthly
we've got the
election.
other-
Oh.
Yes, so, no,
But when
before
we-
the elections, it's
Yeah.
before, we've had to
Oh,
bring
yes,
it a week, yes, we've had to bring it a week
Yes.
forward,
Yeah.
we're now meeting on the 30th of April, aren't we? Tuesday,
Yes,
30th of
it's
April.
in the diary. Hopes and Hayes too.
So that meeting, because we're bringing it a week forward, we'll only be looking at 2 then. And Lynn's meeting will be looking at 4.
Oops.
Where it is.
She
Okay.
did, there you go, not fair.
So meeting
Fine, thank
closed
you.
at 8:54.
Thank you very much, guys, we just made it within that, the hour and a half.